Hello everyone, welcome to Trade. Today we're going to be seeing Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis for Monday, which is 6th September, and a trade review of what happened on Friday. Friday, we did break out of the 37,000 mark in Bank Nifty. What I have opened here is the Bank Nifty chart for 15 minutes time frame. I'm just going to shift to a 5-minute time frame. We see on Friday we did get all these lines were marked for the Friday's trade. We did get a breakout, but took good resistance almost close to R3, but we didn't hit R3. I'm just putting on the historical CPR. We did come very close to R3, and if we had gone long here, the stop loss would have been this 37,000 line itself. And a good short was if we had shorted here after this kind of this level broke on the downside with the pivot of the target. It exactly hit the pivot, and later in the afternoon it did come and touch even S1 of the CPR. See why using CPR is very important, like it'll help you in the day trading. See the kind of support it has taken exactly at S1, right? And this has happened so many times. We come hit the pivot and we also take support at S1. That's why CPR is good. Now let me just put off this historical CPR and just see what are the trade possibilities for Monday. And just I've shifted back to a 15-minute chart and I'm deleting this black line. We did get a break of this black trend line that I had drawn. So I'm going to place another resistance over here. Red line for resistance. Probably we could take resistance again over here, and this is also the previous day high, right? The R1 and the previous day high is pretty close, so in case we come until here, there is a good chance of reversing on the downside. I'll even get rid of this resistance zone that I had drawn. In case we start slipping after a gap up, the next resistance could come in this area, and this is also the CPR pivot. So I'm just marking this for the video, but I'm not going to keep this in the chart because we also have the pivot level there, so this would be a good target on the downside. See, we'll be getting a gap up for sure because of SGX Nifty. As of now, I'm recording this video on Saturday at about 2 p.m. and SGX Nifty showing 33. This is how it closed on Friday. So we don't know how it's going to open on Monday, but as of now, it looks like we're going to get a gap up, a small gap up in Nifty and Bank Nifty both. But how the trade goes after the gap up is what we need to analyze and see what are the possibilities. See, if we get a gap up, okay, I'm going to mark like what are my possibilities, at what I'll be taking a trade. See, 17,000 looks difficult to break. In case we get a gap up and for some reason come close to this R1 or the previous day high and get a bearish signal like on this day how we got on Friday, I might think of shorting again until pivot as the target. Or there's a good chance we might get a gap up only until this 37,000, this red line that I've drawn. Right? We have taken support resistance over here. So I've drawn this red line, and even in open interest, I'll show you the open interest. There's a lot of resistance at 37,000. So there's a good chance we might touch this red line and again dip down until pivot, the CPR pivot or S1. S1 is too far. In case we break the pivot, the next target on the downside would be this green line. I can move this green line a little below until here. We might take support in this area over here, or we might even come until the previous day close, that is over here, this red line. This line we might even take support over here and start moving higher. If not, I'll mark this and get rid of this green zone that I'd marked earlier. I'll put a line here. I'm marking green so that I know this could be a possible support. Yeah, so we could reverse again from here and come to the pivot or the S1. In case we get a very small gap up right at the CPR, See, we have closed over here and the CPR is over here at about 36,800. So in case we get a gap up within the CPR range, we'll wait and see how the price is going to go, how if there's a good close above the CPR or if there's a good close below the CPR. Then depending on the rejection candle, like an inverted hammer or a strong rejection candle, will either go long from the pivot or go short from the pivot, depending on the price action. This can be determined only in the live market. See, if we get a strong rejection on the upside in 15 minutes, like a strong candle closing on the upside, then yeah, we might go long with this pivot line as the CPR line as the stop loss. And in case we get the same kind of rejection on the downside, we will short with this pivot as the stop loss, with this green line as the target and S1 as the target. We might take this trade if we get a short price action, if we open within the CPR range. So let's just look at, that is the possibilities for tomorrow, Monday. Let's just also look at the open interest for Bank Nifty. We have a very good support at 37,000. So there's a good chance at 37,000 we might face resistance again if we go there. But if 37,000 is taken out, yeah, it can be a little bullish because there's a lot of call sellers here. And a good support is at 36,500. Let's see where the 36,500 is coming. Okay, 36,500 is exactly at S1. You see the price is 36,500 and there is an open interest support also at 36,500. So this will be a very good level to have it marked, so that like couple of things, so many things are giving us the same area, right? One is the price action. So in case we dip, we can touch S1 is a possibility. Why? I'll just show you. Let me just get rid of these drawings. One is we have open interest. I just showed you there's a lot of put sellers there. There's a good support at the open interest also. Plus we have the CPR S1 as the target. See, we have open interest 35,000 plus we have S1 at CPR S1 at 36,500 plus we have this price action. We have taken resistance over here. We have taken a support over here. So this level can act as a good support. In case we dip, yeah, we will not look to short below 36,500. In case we short somewhere on the top, we might look to book up profits here, this trade. Or if the opening move is so fast and we move so quickly until S1, we might buy here with the upper levels as the target, with this green line and the pivot as the target. And the previous day low is here, right, at about. So if we get a dip in the morning and a good rejection over here, we might see a good trade on the upside if is also possible. So this is a good support area, either as a target on the downside or to go long. So that is for Bank Nifty. These are the possible trades that I have. I'm looking at a gap up, not a significant big one, probably a small flat gap up opening. So let's look at Nifty. Nifty had a pretty good run on Friday. Even though Bank Nifty had a good sell-off, Nifty did get a good sell-off and it picked up later on in the afternoon. See, the levels that we had marked, right, on Friday, it worked beautifully. See, though we didn't trade in Nifty, but it took support at the same level that we had marked and reversed. Let me just turn on the CPR as well. I'll have to put the historical CPR. So even in Nifty, when we came down, we hit the pivot and then moved higher. Again, we got a dip. Again, the dip was bought and made a fresh high, actually at about 17,340. And coming to Monday's trade, we have the all-time high that is marked 17,340. We have a bullish, very bullish CPR, ascending CPR. So Nifty can remain bullish with the first target is 13,740, then the R1 target of 13,770 and CPR R2 target of 17,420. So even on Monday, if Nifty dips anywhere close to the CPR pivot, right, the BC or the pivot, we can think of going long with R1 and R2 as the target. And in case we start slipping further, like in case we get a sell-off in Nifty, the first support would be the pivot S1 and this price action over here. I'm going to make this box like this. This can be a good support and make this green. And turn off the CPR so the chart is clear. So if we get a sell-off, there is a possibility we might take good support at 17,200 and then start moving higher. Let's also look at the open interest for Nifty. The Nifty open interest, see the significant call rating at 18,000. I don't think we'll let 18,000, it's too far away. A lot of call sellers here. A good support is coming in. There's a lot of put sellers that got added at 17,250. Okay, so 17,250 can be a good support. Do we have that marked? So this is the level. Based on price action, we have somewhere close to 17,220, and based on open interest, it is 250. Let's see where the CPR level is coming. The S1, the S1 is coming exactly at 17,240. So I'm going to mark this also. See these support lines that I mark, right? It can be a good level to buy in case we get a dip, like how we got on Friday. We got a dip until the CPR started moving higher. Similarly, if we get a dip until any of these green lines, it's I would think of buying with the CPR levels as the target. And how do we know if we are going to slip further if this level is taken out? Short trade only if 17,200 is taken out. Okay, and even open interest says the same thing. See, the first support is at the first support is at 13,300. I think I placed my cursor here earlier. The first support is at 17,300. So let's see, 17,300 should be exactly at the pivot point. Yeah, 17,300 is exactly at the pivot point. So we might, after a gap up, we might get a dip. After the 33 point gap up, right, what XGX Nifty is showing, we might get a dip until the pivot, and there's chances of going higher with the pivot levels as the target. And the short trade is only if we, like a significant short trade, right, we might get a dip even until S1 or this previous day low is also possible. See, if we get a dip until here, it's a good buy until 17,300 or S1 or the previous day low. A good short trade will be if this previous day low of 17,200 is taken out, because there's a good price action here. If this is taken out, we can see further downside with this green lines as the target. So that's the trade possibilities for Nifty and Bank Nifty. And just want to add that tomorrow I'll be coming out with a video on how to place stop loss and trail the stop loss, so please stay tuned. And that's it for the trade analysis for Monday. Hope you like this video and hope this helps. So if it does, please like and subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for the tomorrow's video. Thank you.